is a Raja Yoga and Hatha Yoga. I will explain spontaneously so it will make sense. So be receptive and absorb it directly. If you want to study more, you can study the books or you can do private session so you can get more information. So many said they wanted to come. They are not here yet, but I want to continue. Raja Yoga. So this is the chart. What I want to bring you is there are 6 classical philosophy called Sada Darshan, 6 darshanas. Darshana means visions or revelation of great masters. So 6 are considered like basic scriptures. Out of those, 3 are very prominent scriptures. One is called Sankhya, other is called Vedanta, and third one is Yoga. So the reason this chart shows explains everything. So I explained Vedanta earlier in a previous session or so. I want to explain in a simplified way. What Vedanta says is supreme consciousness is called Brahman. It reflects within us. So it is called Brahman, reflects within us called Atman. Brahman is without boundaries, without beginning, no size, no shape. It is eternal consciousness. Same thing is within us. So all of us are spark of God. But we don't realize it because we are covered up with many layers. So the layers is consciousness, intellect, mind, senses, body, and then we go in the world. So 5 layers is body, senses, mind, intellect, and consciousness. These are the covering. What Sankhya philosophy, what the Vedanta philosophy says, there is only one reality, that is supreme consciousness. Everything is illusion. That means everything we see is illusion. Anything that doesn't say the same at all the times, all the places, under all circumstances is called illusion. And it is cosmic illusion or called Maya. So Vedanta says all you do is wake up and realize the world is Maya and we are Atman or Brahman or supreme consciousness, and you become free. You don't need to do anything. So they recommend the tools. Is Viveka, means spiritual discrimination, to see from permanent to impermanent, real to unreal. Once you realize that in your direct experience, then you have renunciation. Renunciation, you give up the world. You don't really give up anything. Things are given up. Once you find it is only illusion, you stop chasing. Just like in the desert, somebody is thirsty and sees the water and runs after the water. Water disappears. It was never there. It continues disappearing. Then he learns the lesson that it is illusion and stops running. Then one searches for higher self. This is the concept of Vedanta. Vedanta says world is like a dream. Dream is real as long you are in the dream. As soon as you wake up, the dream is unreal. You don't bring the lottery won in the dream when you wake up and you are suffering in the dream, your suffering goes away. Another way they say is, in the dark room, you thought you saw a snake and you are scared. So snake is reality, you get scared. But when the lights are turned on, you see it was a rope. Once you see it is a rope, your fear of snake goes away. Same way, once we wake up into higher reality, that all the illusion of the world goes away. Okay. You don't need to do anything, you just realize. This has created many escapists. They say that world is illusion. Only reality is supreme consciousness. So they say, why should I work? Why should I do anything? So they do is escape. Many of them become monks so they can meditate. They beg and rely on the society. So this is escapism. Other people who don't believe in supreme reality, they consider this world is real and it gives happiness. So they chase the world and get frustrated. How long? All life, life after life. This is most people do. They run life after life, searching for happiness in the pleasure, food, sex, relatives, name, fame, power, honors, insults. They are controlled by it and they don't know it. Another analysis is a musk deer in the springtime feels fragrance coming from his own navel. So he runs around wildly until he gets exhausted and finds out the fragrance was coming from his own navel. This is the analogy they give. Same way when we run in life, ultimately we realize that everything we are running for is not outside, but within us. More we run away from ourselves, more we run away from peace. Our basic nature is Sat, Chit, and Anand. This is what everyone is looking for. Sat means truth or eternal existence. Everyone wants to be eternal. Everyone wants to hang on to their health, wealth, power. They don't want to lose anything. That is called Sat. Second thing is Chitta. Chitta means consciousness, knowing. All the knowledge is hidden within. Outside situation only awakens the knowledge within. So knowledge is within us. And Anand is bliss. Bliss is our basic nature. It seems like comes from outside, but really what happens when you experience any kind of pleasure, you get introverted, you get absorbed into it. The subject, object, and process becomes one. So you go inward and connect with yourself. The bliss came from connecting within, but the illusion remains that it came from outside. Until we break the illusion, we repeat the process. Okay. Now I want to bring out Patanjali. What Sankhya said, that world, Brahman is real, world is illusion. Patanjali is very practical. Sankhya and Vedanta, Patanjali explains this. All the Vedanta was known long time ago. Patanjali wrote the textbook 200 BC, and textbook is written in the form of sutra. Sutra means thread, a short phrase that carries deep meaning. he wrote 4 chapters made of 185 sutras, and all the scholars have written thousands of volumes on it. Only when you meditate on the essence, you find the real teaching. So, what he taught in the short sentence is explained in this chart. What he said, first thing he says, first sentence, Athato Yoganu Shashanam. That is first sentence. That is not important. Second one, Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha. Yoga is removing mental modification. In this last book, I have explained Chitta Vritti. So people think controlling the mind is meditation. So what is Chitta? So I explain in a different way than is in the book. Chitta is the mind. But what is mind? What we consider mind, just in this chart, mind, intellect, eye consciousness. So mind only perceives the experience. Intellect analyzes. Consciousness identifies that I am experiencing it. Consciousness creates duality, I and you, mine and yours, my nation, your nation, my religion, your religion. All this comes from basic foundation that I am separate. So 4 elements make our total mind: mind, intellect, eye consciousness, and 4th one is unconscious mind or chitta. Chitta stores all the impression. How do we experience the world? There's no time for a question answer. We experience the world by going outside. How do we go outside? Using 5 senses. 5 senses are seeing, hearing, tasting, touching, and smelling. Each sense has its sense object, like eyes see. Everything you see, matter, dog, cow, car, building, all the objects is the object of eyes. Same way, hearing, tasting, touching, and smelling has their objects. So when we experience the sense perception, what we experience is the perception, then comes cognition. Cognition with mind, intellect, we bond with it and get the more information. Emotions add on to it, and unconscious minds, memories also add on. So if you saw only a single object, say a bird, what would happen? All the things will start working: perception, cognition, emotions, and memories. So your mind will wander. Then it goes into many directions. So imagine with 5 senses and 5 vrittis, our mind will be wandering all over. Now, how do we experience this? How do we experience? We use sense organs to experience, but the real to experience is called mind, intellect, eye consciousness, and unconscious mind. This is called antahakaran, our internal faculties. So look at this. Everything in the world is impermanent. Same way, all our internal faculties are also impermanent. Our thoughts are impermanent, emotions are impermanent, decisions are impermanent, everything is impermanent. So really we are dealing with the world that we see is impermanent, and the organs we use, internal organs, they are all impermanent. So really everything is illusion or maya. only permanent thing is Atman. Atman is permanent, which is eternal, never born, never dying. Its nature is eternal consciousness. Its nature is bliss. So Patanjali brought out that yoga chitta vritti nirodha. Yoga is to removing all the mental modification of all the senses. Third sentence is tada drishtuhu swarupe avasthanam. But it means at that time when one withdraws all the energy, then one establishes into own nature. That is entire teaching of yoga and meditation. So what Patanjali did with 185 phrases, he gave yama and niyamas. So yamas and niyamas, 5 rules of negation: non-violence, truthfulness, non-stealing, celibacy, and non-greediness. Is a deep meaning. And he explains all the benefits when you do non-violence, what you get by practicing truth. There are 5 negations. Another 5 cultivation is the shaucha, purity, shauch, tapa, austerity, santosa, contentment, swadhyaya means study of self, and ishwar pranidhan, surrender to God. So these are the 10 commandments. All the explanation of Raj Yoga and all other yoga is in this book. Okay. And also Patanjali's Yoga Sutra I have in this book. So if you want to study, there is more details about it. Okay. So Patanjali then goes, yama and niyamas gets you in harmony with life. Practice of yoga doesn't begin until you are in rhythm with life. Then you start with your body. So that is body. He explains what is asana. Asana, sthira, sukham, asanam. To be able to sit comfortably for a longer time is called asana. Asana means all the exercise one does is to make the body steady and is free from all the distraction. Patanjali explains that. So after mastering that, one goes to the next step, that is energy. One practices pranayama. In 2 or 3 phrases, he describes the practice of pranayama is regulating prana. Then comes control of 5 senses, pratyahara. Then comes concentration, dharana. Then comes meditation, flow of concentration is called dhyana, and that leads into samadhi, total absorption. So this is the practice of Raja Yoga. All the books have all the detail. So what Sankhya taught and what Vedanta taught is we are spark of God. Either you realize by seeing this life as a dream, or by controlling 24 elements. In Sankhya is explained that 24 elements makes entire cosmos, macrocosm and microcosm. Our body, animals, trees, everything is made up 24 elements, and fundamental building block called Pancha Mahabhuta is earth, water, fire, air functioning in the space. Quantum physics says that entire universe that you see, which has names and forms, it is illusion. It is nothing but interacting energy, what Vedanta says, 5 elements. Okay, that is Raja Yoga. So I want